Dear students, welcome to the present segment on 12th Night. And in the last segment, we said that maybe these segments would be the last concluding remarks. But there are several characters who are of some importance, like Sir Toby Belch, Sir Andrew Aguchick, his friend, and Antonio, who are yet to be explained. So the last few segments would be on these characters. We normally club these characters together because except the character of Antonio, Sir Toby Belch and Sir Andrew Aguchick is a kind of they form a kind of an accessory to the subplot. They are bridges actually between the main plot and the subplot. The character of Antonio is very different, so it deserves a little bit of explanation. And we'll start with Sir Toby. What's his full name? Sir Toby Belch. Now we normally associate the word belch with indigestion. And one very important element of the character of Sir Toby is the element of excess in him. And we don't find that character having a very pleasant ending. Of course, he is capable of marrying Maria, the very resourceful female character in the play. But still, the ending is a bit bitter. The way he leaves the stage is a bit bitter, and that is perhaps because of this excess. Okay. So the surname over there somehow suggests indigestion, excess, and this excess is a very important element of this otherwise resourceful and humorous character. He is always in favor of enjoying life, and the way he is introduced in Act 1, Scene 3 tells us that. Let's read his speech as he enters, quite boisterously, we can understand, in Act 1, Scene 3. Sir Toby, what a plague means my niece to take the death of her brother thus? I'm sure cares an enemy to life. At the very instant we can understand he is Olivia's uncle. Not much convinced with Olivia's story of mourning for 7 years. What a plague means my niece to take the death of her brother thus? Why should what a plague is equivalent to what the hell is my niece doing in mourning the death of her brother in such a manner? I'm sure care's an enemy of life. Over here, care is a contemporary word used for grief, excess grief. And you can understand that here is a character which always stands for enjoyment as the scene proceeds. Quite significantly, these two characters enter together, Sir Toby and Maria, and at the end of the play, we'll find them, marrying. Meanwhile, they would be conspiring a kind of a practical joke against Malvolio, as you all know. This opening line, however, is a kind of as it comes in the exposition, it's a kind of a exposure into the character of Sir Toby, but at the same time, it does not tell us a lot about him. We will understand his general nature. In fact, the opening line over here is a kind of a statement that, a kind of a feeling that we all share with Sir Toby. In fact, this is the general feeling about a person making such a show of grief like Olivia. But I think this comes the uniqueness of the personality and the particular use of the language. You often would understand how Shakespeare uses language to characterize a particular character. Comes out most profoundly in Act 2, Scene 3, and we'll do a little part of this. We'll start from line 77, enter Malvolio. They are having a kind of a very robust revelry. Maria, Toby, Sir Andrew and the clown over there. And Malvolio is extremely disturbed. My masters, are you mad? This is line 77, Act 2, Scene 3. My masters, are you mad? Or what are you? Have you no wit, manners, nor honesty, but to gabble like tinkers at this time of night? Do ye make an alehouse of my lady's house, that ye squeak out your cosier's catches without any mitigation or remorse of voice? Is there no respect of place, persons, or time in you, nor time in you? Sir Toby says, we did keep time in our catches, snake up. Snake up is a kind of a contemporary slang for go and be hanged. We did keep time, sir, in our catches. It's talking about rhythm in the songs. Malvolio says, Sir Toby. Now, Malvolio, you must understand, is not going to care the fact that Toby is the uncle of Olivia. Sir Toby, I must be round with you. My lady bade me tell you that though she harbours you as her kinsman, she is nothing allied to your disorders. If you can separate yourself and your misdemeanors, you are welcome to the house. If not, it would please you to take leave of her. She is very willing to bid you farewell. And suddenly Toby starts singing, and you can understand the very nature. He hardly cares for such kind of a rebuke. Sir Toby sings, farewell, dear heart, since I must needs be gone. Maria says, nay, good Sir Toby, don't go away. The clown, he joins the singing. His eyes do show his days are almost done. Is it even so? Malvolio says. Sir Toby, but I will never die. The clown says, Sir Toby, there you lie. Malvolio, there is much credit to you. Sir Toby sings, shall I bid him go? Other clown sings, what and if you do? Sir Toby sings, shall I bid him go and spare not? The clown, oh no, you dare not. Obviously the proper essence would come out only when it is sung, but in fact Sir Toby's and the clown's banter in this kind of a musical banter has a kind of a moral, has a kind of a import that comes in the very next comment of Sir Toby. Out of time, sir, you lie. Art any more than a steward? Dost thou think before thou art virtuous there should be no more cakes and ale? Now this is a very well-known line by Sir Toby. It has almost passed into popular parlance. Dost thou think because thou art virtuous there shall be no more cakes and ale? And it actually characterizes Sir Toby as a person who is boisterously, who is vehemently in favor of revelry and doesn't just care anything. Okay. Now, I think that would have made the character a kind of a unidimensional one. We must also remember that Sir Toby, despite being over here a kind of a forerunner of the Restoration folk, is also very selfish. And this is the other dimension of the character. He exploits Olivia, he exploits Sir Andrew, he is fond of practical jokes, and one very important element of his character is the excess of it. Excess. He always crosses the limit. And in one particular occasion, obviously it crosses the limit in the way Malvolio is treated for his rather conservative attitude towards revelry. And this brings us to Act 3, Scene 4. We'll start from line 123. Where, in fact, Sir Toby plans what to do with Malvolio. Sir Toby says, "Come, we'll have him in a dark room and bound. My niece is already in the belief that he is mad." This is from line 123, Act 3, Scene 4. "Come, we'll have him in a dark room and bound." You see, this is just what they will do with Malvolio. So it's a kind of a planning. And this is provided by Sir Toby. So he doesn't only appear to be a kind of a boisterous person in favor of making merry and drinking and all these things. He is also quite calculating when it comes to his practical jokes, which, however, can raise questions about his character, the moral quality of his character, so to say. "Come, we'll make him a dark room and bound. My niece is already in the belief that he is mad. We may carry it thus for our pleasure and his penance till our very first time, tired out of breath, prompt us to have mercy on him, at which time we will bring the device to the bar and crown thee for a finder of madmen. But see. He's talking to Maria, and he says that you will be rewarded because you have located a mad person. Okay? You have found out someone mad in the household. So you see, the entire planning is done by Sir Toby. And the planning is executed almost accurately, stage by stage. But he is also afraid of the consequences. He's not completely lost in the enjoyment of executing this practical joke on Malvolio. So he knows just a minute. Yeah. He knows the full consequence of it. And there's a place where we have already done that place earlier when we were talking about the problem of Malvolio. But there's a place where he says that perhaps they had gone too far, and the fear is not out of any concern or any kind of a sympathy towards Malvolio. The fear is completely of a retaliation, which Malvolio, just after his speech, threatens them off. We will read that particular part, though we have already done that to some detail. This is Act 4, Scene 2, and it's from line 64. And Sir Toby says, we'll start from the beginning of the speech. "To him in thine own voice, and bring me word how thou finds him." He's talking about Malvolio. He's now concerned about Malvolio because he knows there has been a kind of a argument between him and his niece, and he knows that things are not very favorable for him right now. "I would we were well rid of this knavery." This is a part, as I've told you, we have already discussed, so I'm not going very much into it. "I would we were well rid of this knavery, if he may be conveniently delivered, I would he were. For For I am now so far in offence with my knees that I cannot pursue without any safety this sport to the upshot. Now I can't take it to the culmination because my relationship with my knees is not very proper right now, is not very smooth right now. So it is at this moment he understands that if he may be conveniently delivered, if he is freed conveniently without any kind of inconvenience, maybe he will forget about it. But that doesn't happen really, because when he is freed, Malvolio vows to take revenge on the entire pack. Okay, so perhaps this is something that he fears, and this is his acknowledgement of his excess. Okay, as I've told you, his departure, these characters are very well drawn in their departures in Shakespeare. His departure from the stage is a little bit ugly. It occurs in the final act, Act 5, Scene 1, and line 205 onwards. Actually, he wanted Sir Andrew to get a beating from Sebastian, but in the process what happened is both of them got beaten up by Sebastian, and both of them are wounded, and Sir Andrew, rather not so intending to actually taunt Toby, but rather maybe out of sympathy, or because when he will come to his character, he will know that he has a habit of repeating whatever Toby does or whatever Toby says. So Sir Andrew in line 205, maybe out of a little bit of sympathy towards Sir Toby, says, I'll help you, Sir Toby, because we'll be dressed together, because we'll be dressed in the sense our wounds will be attended together. And Sir Toby is very infuriated because his plan goes wrong so far as getting Sir Andrew beaten up is concerned. So he says, will you help? An acid and a coxcomb and a knave, a thin-faced knave, a gull. So all these were expletives. And Olivier orders, get him to bed and let his heart be looked to, because Olivier now is slowly becoming more and more responsible. And we have the stage direction, exeunt clown, Fabian, Sir Toby and Sir Andrew. Sir Toby, this is the final exit for Sir Toby with the curses over there. So of course he's capable of marrying Maria. We don't know who is actually gaining out of it. Obviously Maria is gaining quite a lot out of that marriage, but in the way he leaves the stage suggests that he is a mean Epicurean, social parasite whose plan has been thwarted. But yet Sir Toby is memorable because he is a funny figure. The excess in him actually evokes comedy. So that's all about Sir Toby. In the next segment we'll be dealing with Sir Andrew Aguchick, and if there's time in the same segment we'll be also studying the character of Antonio. Thank you.